It's been 9 months since Royal Caribbean shut down all of its cruises, but this week, the very first of its cruises started back up. I've got the details on what the first Royal Caribbean cruise to resume service is all about up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and it's crazy to think it's been almost 9 months, but the first Royal Caribbean cruise ship is back in service with paying passengers, and it's sailing out of Singapore. That is right. Quantum of the Seas departed on December 1st on a short sailing to begin a new season of cruises from the small South Asian country of Singapore. Our friends at the Singapore Cruise Society are on board and have been sharing exclusively photos with RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com to give all of you a look at all the changes Royal Caribbean has made to see what it's like on board, and of course all the new health protocols and basically everything going forward. So of course this video will be a little different in that we won't have that many videos to share. It's going to be photos of what is happening on Quantum of the Seas, the very first Royal Caribbean ship to resume service. Now, as I mentioned, Quantum of the Seas is sailing from the Marina Bay Cruise Center, and the check-in process has added health checks to the normal embarkation day process. All guests traveling on Quantum of the Seas, regardless of age, must undergo a COVID-19 test within 3 days prior to boarding and obtain a negative result. Royal Caribbean is covering the cost for these test sailings, departing on or before March 18th, 2021. Now, there are many new health protocols, both at the check-in process as well as on board the ship, and as you can probably, it's no surprise that, of course, masks are required in the terminal and on board the ship as well. And guests will also have to go another COVID-19 rapid antigen test at the cruise terminal upon disembarkation at the end of their cruise. A very noticeable change, something that's definitely a sign of the times, is all Quantum of the Seas guests must download a contact tracing app on their phone or collect a token. Now, this is a little bit of the rules coming from the Singaporean government, but guests have the choice of downloading the Trace Together app or collect the Trace Together token in order to board the ship. Trace Together is a digital system that the government of Singapore has implemented to allow for better contact tracing in response to COVID-19. The system was initially made up of the app by the same name and was later supplemented by a physical token. In addition, guests are provided something called a tracelet, which is a wearable piece of technology which will assist in contact tracing on board the ship. Guests are required to have the tracelet, Trace Together token or app active always throughout the voyage. Crew members are also required to participate in the contact tracing effort. So this is a big deal, and you should note that children below the age of 7 years old are exempted and not required to have the token or the app with them on board. So something else to be aware of. Now, after completing check-in, guests are able to board the ship with a new emphasis on social distancing. As you're going to see from a lot of these photos in this video, there are a lot of indications of where to stand and basically attempts to spread guests out. Now, on this first sailing of Quantum of the Seas, there's only about 1,000 passengers on board, and Royal Caribbean will only be filling up Quantum of the Seas up to about 50% of its capacity. Again, this is all to foster social distancing. So when you see photos of markers on the ground to indicate where to stand, this is a very common thread, again, to encourage all of this. So Royal Caribbean has added a variety of new health protocols to keep guests and crew healthy on board. In each stateroom, there's a complimentary face mask as well as hand sanitizer to use. And of course, as I mentioned, there are social distancing markers, reserved chairs to promote social distancing as well all over the ship. Over at the Windjammer Buffet, yes, there is a buffet. Yes, it is open, but guests will be served by waiters there instead. So it's not self-service. You will be given anything you want. You just have to obviously ask for it, and they'll bring it to you. Another big change is Muster 2.0, which is a new approach to the cruise ship safety drill. So instead of going to a muster station and standing in close proximity to others while listening to safety instructions, guests can conduct the safety drill from their stateroom TV or through the Royal Caribbean app. After completing the steps of e-muster, guests then go to their muster station to confirm they know where it's located and are marked done. And I gotta say, I love this change because the old muster drill was just a tedious ordeal that really disrupted the entire flow of the day. But this new one, Muster 2.0, love it. Now, in addition, you'll also find a lot of QR codes on board the ship as well. When you go to different restaurants or bars, you can take your phone, scan the QR code, and view the menu there. This is, again, an effort to promote contactless experience on board and not have to touch as many things in an effort, again, to promote more of a healthy approach to what guests are doing on board. Now, dinner in the main dining room is similar to what most guests may be used to, although there are QR codes on the table where you can pull up the menu as well. Over at the Seaplex, activities like the bumper cars are still available for guests to enjoy. Crew members take guest temperatures waiting for bumper cars, and there are lines, of course, but they do move quickly. And crew staff will sanitize each of the bumper cars between each session, which takes about 2 minutes or so to occur. Over in the theater, there are still shows being performed, and it's just being done in a socially distanced manner. Certain seats are marked as unavailable in order to enforce social distancing, and the performers are wearing masks that can match their colorful costumes as well. If you're seeing a show in 270, just like the main theater, there are reserved seats that you need to reserve ahead of time via Royal Caribbean's app. According to our friends, there are only about 250 seats available, and if you're a family of 5 or less, you can sit together, but any groups larger than that will have to be separated, and crew members will guide you to your seats, kind of like if you're going to a Broadway show in New York. The 270 venue is split up into 5 zones, and after the show, you will depart 270 according to the zone you're seated in. Now, there are a lot of other different changes that you're going to find throughout the ship that are not necessarily major, but kind of more of a sign of the times, right? If you're looking to get a late night bite to eat before you go to sleep, the usual spots are open, but you should expect a few changes. Like if you want to go to Cafe Promenade and pick up a snack, you will need your SeaPass card, Trace Together token or app, and the Tracelet. And each table has been cleaned and has a card to indicate it's ready to indicate that it has been sanitized, and basically it's safe to go there. The casinos are open, of course, but there's social distancing enforced as well, which basically means that some of the casino machines are unavailable in order to make sure people aren't too close together. North Star is operating, but it only allows 6 guests at a time to ride. And like North Star, other onboard activities are also available. But again, social distancing is the big common thread among all of these things that we're seeing. There's more spacing. It requires maybe less capacity, but it allows for a more healthy approach to what Royal Caribbean is trying to do, which of course to keep everybody safe. One of the more interesting changes is laser tag. So laser tag is not being conducted. However, instead, Royal Caribbean is saying, okay, instead of doing a traditional laser tag game, guests stand on a line and basically have target practice, where for 45 seconds they shoot targets to see who can get the highest score. Kind of a neat approach to that. Water fountains on board are not available due to health and safety concerns. Fitness center is open, but of course, there's some machines that are unavailable due to social distancing. There are movies on board. And also interesting, and I think this is a Singapore rule, but Royal Caribbean stopped selling alcoholic beverages at 10 p.m. each night, and no more drinking allowed after 10:30 p.m. Again, kind of an interesting change there. So overall, Royal Caribbean has essentially taken the cruise experience and added a lot of social distancing to it. Not unexpected, but through a lot of these photos, number one, I wish I was on board. Number two, it still looks like a fun cruise experience. It's just been changed in the same way that all of our lives have been changed. Going to the supermarket, going to a restaurant at home, visiting parks, and so many other aspects of it. You know, we've kind of gotten adjusted to it. And just like on cruise ships, we're seeing that enforced as well. So if you're looking for more coverage of the new cruises on Quantum of the Seas, you can check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. We've got coverage of that going on throughout this week. And again, these cruises on Quantum of the Seas are only available to residents of Singapore, and they're 3 and 4 night short sailings with limited capacity on the ship. And this is the only Royal Caribbean ship that will be sailing for the foreseeable future. Royal Caribbean has not announced any firm restart plans anywhere else in the world, but it is an important step. This is the first ship to sail. These are paying customers to go on board, and if all goes well, this will be a very good sign for the rest of the fleet. So I want to know in the comments below, what do you think about these first sailings? And would you want to go on board one of these first sailings? Are you missing going on a cruise? Let me know in the comments what really stands out to you about all of this. And while you're down below this video, make sure you subscribe to this video. Turn on your notifications. That way, YouTube lets you know when we have a brand new video to share. And of course, like this video because that really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm and all that good stuff. So this has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.